as we head into the session when the General Assembly will have to ratify the additional months of suspension. Thankfully, because we budgeted wisely and carefully, and because of our conservative approach, we have been able to make up for lost revenue in our state budget without impacting the taxpayers of Georgia. As I renew this suspension, I also want to remind everyone that this was always intended as a short-term answer to a much larger issue, namely the failure of those at the federal level to work towards energy independence. As I said when we first suspended the state's gas tax, we cannot fix everything that Washington has broken, but we are doing our part to deliver relief. We have done that over the past 9 months, and we're now calling again on the Biden administration and those at the federal level to fix what they have broken so that we can have lasting relief. In the meantime, as this phase of inflation relief draws to a close, we are moving forward with other legislative priorities designed to help the people of our state fight through sky-high housing costs and the weight of too much government. As I shared on the campaign trail, I'm calling for a second one-time tax refund of equal size to the first one. Again, it will give over $1 billion back to the Georgia taxpayers. I'm also asking that we use an additional $1 billion to fund homeowner tax relief at the local level for the amended 2023 budget. This would save the average homeowner in Georgia between 15 and 25%, or around $500 on average on their local property tax bill next year. Combined between the suspension of the state gas tax, the first and second tax refunds, the cash assistance program we announced earlier this year, and the homeowner tax relief measure, we will have used over $5 billion in funds to provide relief to the people of our state. Again, I cannot thank the men and women standing with me today for their support of these measures as we head into the legislative session. I would also encourage the members of each chamber to provide their support to the proposed budget items as well. But rest assured, even after these promises made, promises kept, we will not let up when it comes to fighting for Georgia families. As a small business owner for 35 years, Marty and I know what it's like to go through challenging times, wondering how you'll make payroll or provide for your family. The people of Georgia deserve better. That's why I'll continue to work with soon-to-be Lieutenant Governor Jones, incoming Speaker Burns, and Speaker Jones to provide relief where we can, and urge those on the federal level to step up and do better for our fellow hard-working Americans. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Lieutenant Governor-elect, Burt Jones. Burt?
Thank you, Governor. I appreciate those kind words, and I will be brief, but thank you for your leadership, and thank you for having us here today. As Governor Kemp stated, Georgia has experienced record job growth and record employment here over the last 4 years, and even while Georgia families are struggling with the 40-year high inflation, out of control spending, as well as high gas prices and grocery prices, I just want to reiterate what the governor said, that we are committed and looking forward to partnering with current Speaker Jones and future Speaker Burns during this legislative process. I think he has built, Governor Kemp, along with the legislative body, has built a great foundation the last 4 years for us to build upon, and the news that he has brought forth today and the economic opportunities that we have for the next 4 years, I think, are going to be second to none. So with that, I would like to ask Speaker Jones to step to the podium, and I do look forward to working with the governor's office as well as the House and the Senate members as well. And I think we're going to have a good 4 years and look forward to a lot of opportunities. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here for these significant announcements, and I want to thank Lieutenant Governor-elect Jones for his words. I'm certainly proud to stand here with you as well as Speaker nominee Burns today. We stand in strong support and shoulder to shoulder with Governor Kemp in bringing relief to Georgia families suffering under record inflation. Our House of Representatives has a clear record of working for Georgia's families to help them keep more of their hard-earned money. We've cut the income tax rate twice in just this year. With the governor's help, with the passage of House Bill 1302, we sent more than $1 billion back to taxpayers. And actually, I'll say it was more than his help, it was actually his initiative. Our approach to fiscal policy has been and will remain conservative so that our state is prepared to weather whatever storms, literal or figurative, and including things such as the pandemic, whatever comes our way. We've resisted the temptation, like other states, to live beyond our means, and restraint has been rewarded time and time again. Today, Georgia once again enjoys a record budget surplus and a record low unemployment rate, lower than the state's history. We enjoy, again, the highest available credit rating on our bonds, AAA, and we're only one of 9 states that issued general obligation bonds to have earned that distinction. By this time, y'all are about tired of hearing us say that because it's every year that we get to say that. And we certainly remain, once again, the best state in the nation for business year after year. None of it happened by accident. It happened because we put Georgia families first, along with the governor and the Senate, and we'll continue to do that. I want to thank Governor Kemp for his leadership and the commitment of he and our First Lady to help Georgia families in these challenging economic times. I couldn't be prouder to serve with you, Governor Kemp, and to support your initiatives. Now let me welcome a dear friend of mine and colleague, Speaker nominee of the Majority Caucus, John Burns, to the podium.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Governor Kemp, Lieutenant Governor-elect Jones. It's a privilege to stand here with all of you, with you today. And as I begin, let me congratulate you not only on being Georgia's 74th Speaker, but also the First Lady to ever grace this House's highest office. Let's give her that a hand. While the circumstances certainly were not of our choosing, you have shouldered the burden of your office in a way that has made all Georgians proud. I joined with Lieutenant Governor-elect Jones in supporting Governor Kemp's efforts to shield Georgians from the impacts of inflation and keep our economy strong. Georgia, our Georgia, is the envy of this nation. As you've described, we have worked hard to keep our state's finances in order. As we look forward to the 2023 session, we will work with Governor Kemp and our colleagues in the state Senate to return more money to taxpayers. While our state will meet its obligations, we agree that Georgians deserve to keep as much of their hard-earned money as possible. It is not our money, but rather it belongs first and foremost to the taxpayers of this state. I'm delighted to have a strong team in House leadership ready to work on these efforts, particularly Appropriations Chairman Matt Hatchett and Ways and Means Chairman Shaw Blackman. Of course, as always, Speaker Jones will be a part of the team watching every dollar to ensure we honor our commitment and our duty to Georgia taxpayers. Governor Kemp, thank you for your leadership and the strong partnership we enjoy between your office and the General Assembly. If honored by my colleagues to serve as the 75th Speaker, I'll look forward to working with you to keep Georgia the best state in which to live, work, and raise a family. Thank you.
All right, well, again, thank you guys. Great comments. I think you can see that we are united as we go into session. We have a good plan to help Georgians fight through 40-year high inflation, and we're looking forward to working together on a host of other issues and excited about the future. Well, the key word in the first part of your question was that was a legislative committee that was looking at that. That was not something that the governor's office has been engaged in. Obviously, we've been focused with getting the proposed budget ready, getting our own policy agenda. But we look forward to working with the legislature on all futuristic things. I mean, listen, our modes of transportation have been changing. Our energy, thankfully, in Georgia is diversifying, and it's going to continue to do so. And the good thing is we've got thoughtful leaders that look forward to working on all of those issues together. I have not had time to focus on that issue. Arch. Well, listen, I'm looking forward, like I said, to working with the General Assembly on a host of issues that I campaigned on, which obviously, you know, those are front and center. I've been very aggressive at fighting crime and going after street gangs and street racers, and First Lady Marty Kemp's agenda is beyond any other state government in our country on going after human trafficking. We're committed to doing that. We're going to have, you know, budget and policy asks that we're going to have there that we're going to be working with both bodies on. We've got a robust agenda for education, particularly focused on learning loss, school security issues, and making sure that we have the people in the schools to help our children be able to succeed and stay out of bad situations. So we're certainly going to be focused on that. But we're also going to be focused on making sure that Georgians can fight through 40-year high inflation. And to me, it's not just helping them fight through the inflation by doing something like suspending the gas tax or doing a tax refund, but it's also just like us committed to what we did today, announcing another huge opportunity for employment in our state, where those jobs that we announced are going to pay above the county average. So giving Georgians even greater opportunity in the future. Even if something were to happen, you know, you got a lot of big corporate CEOs that are saying we're going to have a recession in 23. We already may have had a recession. I mean, I don't think anybody knows. But what we're focused on, and it's not just me, it's this whole team right here that is bought in to we want Georgians, no matter your zip code, no matter the neighborhood that you're in, we want you to have access to a good paying, better than county average wage paying job close to your home. You know, you shouldn't have to move to get that. And if you look at where we've done projects around the state, I think Pat Wilson did a presentation at the biennial on this that showed where our focus has been. It's literally on all parts of the state. And the members of the General Assembly and the late Speaker Ralston focused on rural Georgia. And I did too. I ran on that in 2018. And every one of these 4 largest announcements that we've done in just the last year, which is incredible in itself, every one of them is touching rural parts of our state. Dave? Well, in referencing my remarks, we have, you know, going to be signing the executive order to continue the suspension through January 10th, and then we're going to transition away from that temporary program to other inflationary items that we're going to use to help fight inflation. So as you guys know, gas prices thankfully have been dropping a little bit. I don't think it has anything to do with the policy in the United States of America, but you've had other worldwide decisions that were made that have affected that. Obviously, demand slowing as well, which is not great because that means our economy is slowed down. But we're now going to transition. We can't continue to pay what we're doing on the gas tax suspension. But we do have one-time money that we want to help Georgians where they're also getting hit in the wallet, and that is on rising property taxes. That's something that I heard when I traveled all across the state. So as we go into the session, we're going to ratify what we've done on the gas tax suspension, help Georgians be able to take advantage of that through the holidays and get into the new year, and then we're going to do the tax refund. So we'll have $1 billion going back to the people that sent it to us, and then we're going to do $1 billion worth of one-time property tax relief grants that we believe will save the average Georgia homeowner $500. So that's where our focus is going to be in the future. Karen? Yeah, January 10th. Yeah. Well, I would just refer you back to last session. I mean, we had great support on the largest income tax cut in state history, and there's a built-in plan if our revenues hold up and other triggers that were in the legislation where we'll continue to lower the rate. So I think the leaders, at least from my perspective, I'm looking forward to continuing to work on that. I think there's also things, if that's where we're going to go down the road, if there's the political will to do that, there's some tough conversations that we got to have on tax credits and other things that, you know, people are taking advantage on now. But we have a good plan in place that we passed last year. And even though the Democratic Party of Georgia criticized that plan, just about every single Democrat voted for that bill. So it was a good plan. Yeah. Is what now? Well, I can just speak to what we've done on helping people fight through 40-year high inflation that I believe was caused by problems and bad policies in Washington, D.C. I'll let you ask them questions about their federal policies. Thank you, guys.
That was awesome.